Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise of information overload and extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight for you. This week, we're taking a deep dive into the latest announcements from Amazon Web Services, covering a truly busy period from June 23rd to June 27th, 2025. It's really a testament to the pace of innovation. There's always so much to unpack.
Yeah, absolutely. And our mission today is really to help you as a technical professional quickly grasp what's most impactful from this rapid fire release cycle. We'll highlight the key features and maybe more importantly, why they matter for your projects, for your understanding of the cloud landscape. Think of it as a kind of a shortcut to staying well informed without having to sift through every single announcement yourself.
Okay, exactly. Let's unpack this week's significant developments then. We're going to kick things off in a space that's seen just relentless innovation. AI, machine learning, and data management. First up, for anyone building with generative AI on AWS, Amazon Bedrock, it's getting some powerful preview features. Sounds like they address some common developer pain points.
Exactly. The big news for Bedrock Flows is persistent, long-running execution for workflows. Previously, you were quite restricted, with that 2-minute step execution limit.
Right. Yeah, 2 minutes was a must.
Not at all. That's now extended to a much more practical 15 minutes. So this directly solves a major limitation for complex, multi-step generative AI applications. Allows you to build, far more sophisticated reasoning chains without clunky workarounds.
Yeah, that 2-minute limit really could be a bottleneck. So a significant increase to 15 minutes, that offers so much more breathing room for those intricate AI tasks.
What about streamlining the development experience within Bedrock Flows itself? Right, so they're also introducing inline code support. This means you can now execute Python scripts directly within your flows for simple data processing or logic. This, it eliminates the need to spin up separate Lambda functions, makes your Bedrock workflows much cleaner, faster to develop, and easier to manage.
Okay, nice. And on the security side for AI, Bedrock Guardrails seems to be stepping up its game with new content filter tiers.
Absolutely. The new standard tier for guardrails is really a significant leap forward for content safety. It offers far better contextual understanding for filtering, which, can even catch subtle issues like typographical errors. And it massively expands language support to over 60 languages.
Wow, over 60.
Yeah. Plus, it provides more robust detection against prompt injection attacks and output manipulation, gives you a much stronger defense for your AI applications against, unintended or malicious use.
Moving over to Amazon SageMaker, it sounds like there's some important improvements coming for data governance and overall ML development performance.
Yes, definitely. On the data governance front, SageMaker has contributed the Amazon Data Zone Transport to the Open Lineage community and enhanced automated lineage capabilities.
Okay, what does that mean in practice?
It gives you much better traceability for data transformations, whether they're coming from AWS Glue, Amazon Redshift, or even within your visual ETL processes and notebooks. It's really about knowing exactly where your data has been and how it's been transformed, which is, crucial for compliance and debugging.
That enhanced lineage sounds like a lifesaver for tracking complex data pipelines. And for ensuring consistency in production, what's new with Git integration for SageMaker?
So they also announced automatic synchronization from Git to S3 for SageMaker Unified Studio. This basically ensures your production environments always have the very latest code artifacts from your Git repo without any manual intervention.
Right.
For things like scheduled visual ETL flows or SQL query books, it's a huge benefit for maintaining consistency and avoiding stale code.
Now, for those pushing the boundaries of AI training, this next one sounds like a big leap. Tell us about the new HyperPod instances.
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets really interesting for raw performance. SageMaker HyperPod now offers P6 B200 instances powered by NVIDIA B200 GPUs.
The Blackwell GPUs.
Exactly. We're talking about a significant upgrade here. These deliver up to 2x better performance for AI training compared to the previous P5 instances. You get 8 Blackwell GPUs per instance, a whopping 1,440 gigabits of high-bandwidth GPU memory.
Wow.
A 60% increase in GPU memory bandwidth, and 3.2 terabits per second of EFF4 networking.
Okay, just to quickly clarify, EFF4 networking, that's AWS's custom-built network interface, right?
Yeah.
Designed for ultra-low latency, high throughput for these massively parallel applications like AI training.
Precisely.
So that 3.2 terabits per second is essentially ensuring your GPUs aren't bottlenecked by data transfer.
Exactly right. These P6 B200 instances are fundamentally shifting the ceiling for what's possible in large-scale AI model training. They're designed for reliably scaling AI workloads to, tens of thousands of GPUs within ultra-clusters, which means complex scientific simulations or building the next generation of massive language models that were previously maybe cost prohibitive or simply too large to train efficiently are now becoming far more accessible. It's really a game changer for pushing the boundaries of AI research and deployment.
Definitely sounds like it. Okay, for healthcare and life sciences, always a critical field. What's new with HealthOmics?
AWS HealthOmics now provides automatic input parameter interpolation for Nextflow workflows. This is a great quality of life improvement for bioinformatics teams.
How so?
While it eliminates the manual, often error-prone process of creating parameter templates, it speeds up workflow launches and reduces configuration mistakes by intelligently identifying and extracting parameters directly from your workflow definitions.
Makes sense. Data lake management, that continues to evolve rapidly. What's new for AWS Glue and S3 to optimize those data lakes?
So AWS Glue Data Catalog now provides usage metrics for APIs in Amazon CloudWatch. This is valuable for understanding the operational health and usage patterns of your data lake.
Okay.
You can monitor reads, updates, deletions of your lakehouse resources per minute, helping you identify bottlenecks and, proactively set CloudWatch alarms for better management.
That granular insight into Glue Data Catalog usage sounds super helpful for performance tuning and capacity planning. What about more advanced data manipulation within data lakes using Spark?
Right. Furthermore, AWS Glue 5.0 Apache Spark jobs now support read and write operations on AWS Lake Formation registered tables with full table access.
Full table access, okay.
Yeah, this is a significant step. It enables data manipulation language, or DML, operations like create, alter, delete, update, and merge into on Apache Hive and Iceberg tables directly from Spark applications. It supports advanced Spark capabilities too, like RDDs and UDFs, offering much more flexibility for your data lake transformations.
Okay. And for S3 tables, the underlying storage layer, what improvements are we seeing there?
Well, first, Amazon S3 tables are now available in 2 additional AWS regions, Asia-Pacific, Thailand, and Mexico Central.
Expanding the footprint?
Yep, brings the total to 32 regions. But crucially, S3 now supports sort and Z-order compaction for Apache Iceberg table.
Ah, the compaction. That's important.
It's a big deal, yeah. Because it intelligently organizes your data on S3, so when you run a query, the engine scans far fewer files. That means faster queries and critically lower costs, especially if you're frequently querying across multiple columns at once.
Right. Fewer files scanned, lower bill. Makes sense. For high-performance file systems, any updates that kind of bridge the gap between file and object storage?
Yes. Amazon FSx for OpenZFS now supports Amazon S3 access points. This is huge because it means you can now treat your high-performance file data in FSx like it's just another object in S3.
Really?
Yeah, essentially breaking down those traditional barriers between file and object storage. This lets you seamlessly leverage all those powerful S3 integrated AI, ML, and analytics services without the headache of, data movement or complex CTL.
That's very cool. What about graph databases and machine learning? Feels like those two areas are increasingly intertwined.
They really are. Amazon Neptune Analytics now integrates with GraphStorm.
GraphStorm,
which is a scalable open source graph machine learning library. This allows you to train graph neural networks, GNNs, with GraphStorm, and then bring those learned representations like node embeddings directly into Neptune Analytics for interactive querying and analysis. Think about how powerful this is for use cases like sophisticated fraud detection, highly personalized content recommendation, or maybe optimizing complex supply chain intelligence.
Yeah, bringing the ML directly into the graph analysis.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Any updates for search capabilities, especially tailored for government customers?
Yes. For AWS GovCloud US regions, Amazon OpenSearch Serverless now supports point-in-time, PIT search, and SQL search. This is vital for applications requiring data consistency.
How does PIT search help there?
It allows you to run multiple queries against a dataset fixed at a specific moment in time. So you get consistent search results even as the underlying data is changing. It's particularly useful for things like deep pagination or maintaining stable data views for auditing or, analytics.
All right, let's pivot a bit to core infrastructure and developer tools. Amazon Q Developer is a significant update, especially for Java users, maybe those dealing with legacy applications.
Yeah, this is a big one. The Java Upgrade Transformation CLI, or command line interface, is now generally available. This is potentially a game changer for large organizations.
Oh, so?
It enables customers to invoke Amazon Q developers' transformation capabilities right from the command line, allowing for Java application upgrades at scale.
At scale, okay.
Yeah, you can upgrade from source versions like Java 8, 11, 17, or 21 to target versions 17 or 21. It also includes selective transformation and, importantly, the ability to convert embedded SQL for Oracle to PostgreSQL database migration integrated with AWS DMS. This significantly reduces the manual effort and, frankly, the risk involved in these often complex migrations.
That sounds like a massive time saver for large-scale Java modernization efforts.
Yeah.
We also saw several EC2 instant-type expansions this week, highlighting AWS's continuous push for specialized compute.
Indeed. AWS, they just keep rolling out new EC2 instances, constantly pushing the boundaries of compute performance and cost efficiency across specialized workloads. So this week, the i7e instances, designed specifically for large storage I/O-intensive workloads, became available in Asia-Pacific, Sydney, Asia-Pacific, Malaysia, and AWS GovCloud, US East. They offer up to 40% better compute performance and 20% better price performance over previous generations. But what's truly notable is their density, up to 120 TB local NVMe storage.
120 terabytes, wow.
The highest in the cloud, yeah. And with significantly lower storage I/O latency.
So if you're dealing with massive databases or analytical processing that constantly hits local storage, these instances are going to be a huge win. What about more general-purpose compute or Graviton-powered options?
Right. We also saw C7i instances powered by custom 4th-gen Intel Xeon scalable processors launch in the Middle East UAE region. These give you up to 15% better performance over comparable by 86 Intel processors and 15% better price performance versus C6i. They even include bare metal sizes with Intel accelerators like Data Streaming Accelerator and Intel AMX for CPU-based machine learning.
Okay.
And for those optimizing for efficiency, C7G instances powered by AWS Graviton 3 processors are now in the AWS Israel Tel Aviv region. These provide up to 25% better compute performance than Graviton 2 and use up to 60% less energy for the same performance. Big efficiency gain there.
It's clear AWS is continuing to provide more choices, right? To precisely match compute resources to specific workload needs, from raw power to energy efficiency. On the networking front, foundational services like VPC and Route 53 received important updates too.
Yeah, Amazon VPC has significantly increased the default route table capacity from 50 entries up to 500 entries.
Wow, tenfold.
Yeah, it's a huge reduction in administrative overhead, especially for complex network architectures that need precise traffic control to things like firewalls, peering connections, or transit gateways. You just have more room to build without hitting those limits.
That's a quiet but impactful improvement for network architects, definitely. What about managing DNS more effectively with Route 53?
So Amazon Route 53 also launched a capacity utilization metric for resolver endpoints in Amazon CloudWatch. This new metric, resolver endpoint capacity status, it provides direct alerts on whether your endpoint is nearing its query capacity limit. It gives you a warning at 50% usage and critical at 75%. This simplifies scaling decisions for your DNS resolvers, takes away a lot of the guesswork.
Good. Proactive monitoring. And for hybrid cloud environments, what's new with Route 53 Resolver?
Additionally, Route 53 Resolver endpoints now support DNS delegation for private hosted zone subdomains. This really streamlines cloud on-premises integration.
How does that work?
It allows you to delegate authority for subdomains using standard name server records, which eliminates the need for those complex, sometimes fragile conditional forwarding rules when you're bridging your on-prem DNS with your cloud environments.
Okay, simplifying hybrid DNS. Good stuff. Now, for applications demanding extreme timing precision, there's a notable update to the Amazon TimeSync service.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. The Amazon TimeSync service now supports nanosecond precision hardware packet timestamping on supported EC2 instances. Nanosecond. This is for truly critical applications where the order and timing of network packets are paramount. It timestamps inbound network packets right at the hardware level before they even hit the operating system, leveraging the AWS Nitro Systems reference clock.
Wow.
This offers much higher precision and accuracy than most on-premises solutions for determining packet order, measuring one-way network latency, and increasing the transaction speed of highly distributed systems.
That level of precision is incredible. Very specific use cases, but vital for them. What's new for broader research and engineering environments?
Research and Engineering Studio, or RES, on AWS in version 2025.06 introduces several key enhancements. You get streamlined instance bootstrapping, enhanced security configurations for infrastructure hosts with more granular permissions, and Amazon CloudWatch logging for virtual desktop instances, VDIs. It also adds support for Amazon Linux 2023 and Rocky Linux 9, offering greater customization and control over your research deployments.
Okay. For those managing virtual desktops, it seems Amazon Workspace's users also gained some flexibility this week.
They did. Amazon Workspace's Personal now allows routing streaming traffic privately using AWS Private Link. This is crucial for compliance-sensitive environments, right? Keeping your virtual desktop streaming data entirely within your VPC or on-premises networks rather than traversing the public internet.
Yeah, keeping it off the public net. And for simplifying broader VDI migrations.
And Amazon Workspace's Core announced managed instances. This really simplifies VDI migrations by providing highly customizable instance configurations that utilize EC2 managed instances. It gives you greater flexibility, lets you use existing discounts like savings plans and on-demand capacity reservations.
Oh, nice.
All while Workspace's Core handles the underlying infrastructure lifecycle management for you. So, less heavy lifting.
Makes sense. A final note on developer tools then. EventBridge has expanded its orchestration capabilities.
Yeah, Amazon EventBridge now supports AWS Code Build batch builds as a target.
Okay, batch builds.
Right. This means you can trigger concurrent and coordinated builds, including things like build graphs, lists, matrices, fan-outs, directly in response to events. This enables much more effective automation and orchestration of complex multi-stage build workflows, moving beyond just, simple single build triggers.
Okay, interesting for CI/CD pipelines. Let's shift gears to a critical area: security, operational excellence, and global reach. Security is, of course, paramount, and there were several updates related to DDoS protection and application security this week.
Definitely. AWS Firewall Manager now provides policy support for AWS WAF L7 DDoS managed rules. What this means is you can automatically detect and mitigate common DDoS events on services like CloudFront and application load balancers across your accounts, all managed centrally.
Okay.
It significantly reduces the operational overhead for security administrators.
And specifically for application load balancers, there's another layer of DDoS protection now.
That's right. In parallel, AWS WAF announced the general availability of resource-level DDoS protection for application load balancers, ALB. This is an on-host agent directly integrated with the ALB. Providing rapid protection against known attack sources and efficiently rate-limiting traffic based on client IPs and X-forwarded headers. It's a robust, granular defense that you can configure to be always active or only during high load periods.
Flexible.
Yeah.
And for protecting user authentication itself, what's new with Cognito?
Amazon Cognito introduces AWS WAF support for managed login. This lets you protect your Cognito user pool login endpoints from malicious requests, define rate limits, gain visibility into your web traffic, and importantly, control bot traffic.
Right.
Adds a critical layer of defense directly to your sign-in and sign-up experiences.
Good. How about speeding up security incident response?
AWS Security Incident Response now integrates with Amazon EventBridge. This is really key for automation. It enables you to automate reactions, monitor, and orchestrate events related to security cases and memberships. Allows for quicker stakeholder notifications and seamless integration with third-party tooling, which ultimately dramatically speeds up response times during potential security incidents.
Yeah, faster response is always better. For day-to-day operations and finding answers quickly, what improvements are we seeing in monitoring and troubleshooting?
This is a big one. Amazon CloudWatch investigations are now generally available.
CloudWatch investigations. Tell me more.
It's a powerful new tool. It uses an AI agent to automatically look for anomalies, surface-related signals, identify root cause hypotheses, and even suggest remediation steps across your entire AWS environment.
Wow. AI-driven troubleshooting.
Exactly. You can initiate investigations from many AWS consoles or directly from a CloudWatch alarm. The goal is significantly reducing your mean time to resolution, your MTTR. For anyone who spent hours digging through logs trying to find that needle in a haystack, this is truly a game changer.
That sounds like a massive step towards more intelligent, proactive operational excellence.
Absolutely. And for finding information and troubleshooting in general, what's new with AWS's knowledge bases? like repost.
Right. AWS has launched intelligent search on AWS Repost and Repost Private. This provides synthesized answers drawing from repost community discussions, official AWS documentation, and other public knowledge sources.
Synthesized answers.
Yeah, it streamlines how builders find relevant information for troubleshooting and decision-making, moving beyond just keyword searches to provide more direct, sort of summarized answers.
Interesting. Okay, for those focused on sustainability, there's an important update to the Customer Carbon Footprint tool.
Yes, the Customer Carbon Footprint tool, or CCFT, now includes location-based emissions, LBM, alongside the existing market-based method, MBM.
Location-based versus market-based. What's the difference?
Location-based lets you view emissions based on the average carbon intensity of the electricity grids where your resources actually consume energy.
Market-based reflects things like renewable energy purchases. So location-based gives you deeper insights, maybe to optimize your actual cloud usage patterns for sustainability based on grid intensity. It also now includes estimated emissions from CloudFront usage, giving you a more comprehensive picture.
Got it. More granularity there.
Yeah.
It also seems like AWS is making it easier to manage service quotas across more services.
Absolutely. Both Amazon EMR on EKS and AWS end user messaging now support service quotas. This means you can view and manage your service limits directly in the service quotas console. You can benefit from automated limit increase approvals for eligible requests and set CloudWatch alarms for usage thresholds.
Right.
It just improves control, predictability, and reduces the need for manual support tickets for quota increases.
Yeah, fewer support tickets is always good. Finally, reflecting AWS's relentless global expansion, we saw just a flurry of regional availability announcements this week, bringing low-latency services and specialized infrastructure closer to customers worldwide.
That's right. A lot happened on the regional front. Services like AWS Elastic Beanstalk became generally available in the Middle East, UAE. Amazon Connect outbound campaigns expanded into Asia-Pacific regions like Seoul, Tokyo, and Singapore, enabling proactive, personalized customer outreach in more markets.
Okay.
For game developers, Amazon GameLift servers are now in Asia-Pacific, Thailand, and Malaysia. Allows deployment closer to players for reduced latency. And GameLift also launched UDP ping beacons for real-time network latency measurement between clients and servers. Little useful tool there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for API development and directory services, we saw more global reach too.
We did. AWS AppSync is now available in Asia-Pacific, Malaysia, Thailand, and also Canada West, Calgary. And AWS Directory Service for Microsoft AD and AD Connector are now available in the Asia-Pacific Taipei region, simplifying AD-aware application migrations for customers there.
It's clear AWS continues to invest heavily in global infrastructure. Any final notable connectivity enhancements from this week?
Two quick ones. AWS announced a 100 Gbps expansion at the AWS Direct Connect location in Jakarta, Indonesia.
100 gigs in Jakarta.
Yep, providing those private physical network connections with MFCSec encryption capabilities for a more consistent network experience. Also, AWS Private CA now supports IPv6 through new dual-stack endpoints. This enables connections and revocation status checks over the public internet using IPv6, IPv4, or dual-stack clients. Enhances flexibility and, future-proofing your certificate infrastructure.
What a truly packed week of updates. From boosting AI development and data analytics to strengthening security and expanding global reach, it's clear AWS is relentlessly innovating across the board.
Indeed. These granular weekly advancements, when you look at them collectively, they provide you with more power, more control, more efficiency, and significantly more options for building highly scalable, secure, and performant applications in the cloud. It's about continuously raising the bar on what you can achieve.
So as AWS continues to innovate at this pace, what previously unimaginable applications or services do these specific granular weekly updates enable you listening right now to build or optimize in your own environment? Maybe take a moment to consider how just one or two of these announcements might unlock a new possibility for your current or future projects.
Yeah, absolutely. We encourage you to dive deeper into the documentation for the updates that really resonated most with your specific needs or interests. The true value often lies in those details and how they apply to your unique challenges.
That's it for this week's deep dive into the latest AWS announcements. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to unpacking more insights with you soon.